Thank you. I love it. And it opens the door to so many fascinating conversations once you've seen it that I've been having all week long.
That's cool.
You know, we all have our interpretations, but
Yeah.
I kind of want to know from you, what were the central questions and themes that you wanted to bring forward with Looper?
Well, it's funny. I'm really, I don't want to sound like I'm dodging that question, but I almost don't want to interfere with people's, interpretations. Like, I've made the movie and I kind of have my ideas, but to me what's really exciting is how everyone's going to personally bounce off of it and what they're going to take from it. And I feel like when you hear a filmmaker say, no, the movie was about this, you kind of think, oh, well, I guess my thing was wrong. And I don't want that to happen. To me, the movie belongs out there now, and I'm more interested to hear your guys' takes on it and hear what you guys think.
Well, that would be a really long conversation.
All right.
But I had this amazing conversation with Neil Blomkamp, who directed Elysium and District 9, about casting and about how actors can often bring sort of the history of their professional career with them.
Yeah.
And that can serve and support the story you're telling.
Yeah.
In this case, Bruce Willis brings his status as an action icon, which lets us know right away, okay, this is a kick-butt guy. But also we subconsciously have all those images of the violent scenes.
It's really interesting. And in another way, he's always, we just trust that when he shows up in a movie, what's he going to do? He's going to fix the situation by finding the bad guy and killing them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he shows up to do in this. And so you get on board with that, and then the movie kind of uses the weight of that back against you and looks at the real moral implications of that, hopefully. So yeah, it was definitely, and Bruce and I talked about this when we first sat down. He's like, that's something that I'm bringing to the table with this. I think is actually going to be really effective. He was really excited about it.
One of the things that I'm curious about, both for you and for Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is that this is a violent film, as we're talking about, that is in a lot of ways about the cyclical nature of violence.
Yep.
Does that create any inner conflict for you? And if so, how do you kind of address that?
Well, I think that is the conflict. That's also the solution to the conflict for me, is at the end of the day, it lands in such a place where I can stand behind the message of the movie, and because it is about violence, because it's genuinely about kind of this notion of fixing a problem by finding the right person and killing them. And it actually looks at the practical effects of that, and it lands in a place where I feel like we earned that discussion in it. So for me, the not shying away from the violence and showing it very graphically was actually tremendously important to what the whole movie is about.
This is, obviously it's sci-fi, it's time travel, it's gangster film, a little bit of a love story. One of the things that you do so well as a filmmaker is take these tropes and play with them. Can you talk a little bit about what audiences can expect to see in terms of that with Looper?
Yeah, Looper, part of the fun of it, I hope, is it's one of those where it kind of evolves over the course of the movie, and it kind of keeps the sand shifting underneath your feet. So just when you think it's one sort of thing, it starts to shift into another. And science fiction is something that, it's a weird genre in that way, because sci-fi almost always mixes with another genre. Like, I don't know what a pure sci-fi movie would look like. It's, sci-fi noir with Blade Runner, or sci-fi westerns, or sci-fi horror movies. So and we definitely play with that, where it's all sci-fi, that's the unifying ingredient, but what that mixes with kind of ebbs in and out depending on the needs of the story. My work as a writer was to try and make it all feel cohesive, so that when you step back, the whole thing, you can see why it transformed that way, and you can see what these two kind of halves of the movie, how they interlock. But hopefully it's also fun to watch just because it keeps you guessing.
It's so much fun to watch. I love it. Can't wait for people to see it in AMC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and join us at amctheaters.com, and watch one of our other AMC Movie News videos below.